Good afternoon, everyone. Today I have the pleasure of speaking to ex-Amazonian and a very good friend, Max Sinclair. Max, how you doing?
Good, Ed. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. How are you?
Good, good. Amazon is always changing. Amazon's being Amazon. That's fine. We're adapting, and you definitely adapt. And I know you were, I think, the first in the space in AI generated listings and images. And at one point, Amazon made some kind of an announcement, and you like just shrugged that they're gonna get involved in that, and you just like shrugged it off that you are just gonna adapt, and consider you consider the leader in this space. So let's dive right into it. Um, First of all, what is Rufus and Cosmos? What is it? Cosmo. It used to be a soccer team, the Cosmos. I meant Cosmo.
Sure. So, all US-based customers now have access to Rufus. So Rufus is the ChatGPT style search that is integrated into Amazon. So you can ask it questions. It's using large language models to kind of give you a more curated and personalized response. And it's, in my opinion, going to become quickly the predominant way that people shop on Amazon. So if you think when I was at Amazon in 2016, when I joined, 30% of people shopped on mobile, and now 80% of searches start on mobile. And I think this Rufus adoption is going to be even more dramatic. And if you just think that the internet took the internet took 20 years to get 1 million users, and ChatGPT took 5 days to get 1 million users. The speed that this stuff is just moving at, and the adoption is just so quick that, yeah, I believe either through voice or through conversational text that people will start to be using this Rufus more and more, and kind of adapting to that is going to be super important.
So what's the difference between Rufus and Cosmo? Why is there two?
Sure. So Rufus is the front end, as we just discussed, like the ChatGPT and Amazon. Cosmo is the back end algorithm. So Cosmo is, Amazon calls it its common sense algorithm, and basically the point of Cosmo is to give to each individual customer a hyper personalized experience. So they have trained a large language model, again, different one, but again, a large language model, and they have got hundreds of millions of annotations, human annotations on kind of the relationships between products and people, and they've got external data, and of course they've got all of their existing Amazon data, and they've basically trained this model to better provide optimization, so that each individual customer comes on and gets a credibly personalized experience. And the example they give in their science paper is if a pregnant woman searches for slip-resistant shoes, if a pregnant woman searches for shoes, they will give her slip-resistant shoes without her typing in the keyword slip-resistant, just because the AI is smart enough, it understands the intent behind the customer. And this completely changes how you rank on Amazon. And there's all these people going, "Oh, keywords aren't dead; they still matter." It's just wrong, and I can explain why in a very simple but technical explanation. If you're using a large language model, and you put a natural language prompt into a large language model, the AI will then convert those words into tokens, which are numbers, and it will then compress those tokens before it does the other bits that it does, such as matching it to its annotations and computing it and all this stuff. So you go from words to tokens to compressed tokens to AI to product. Basically, it's a workflow. And therefore, if you're trying to target a long tail keyword like slip resistant shoes for pregnant women, the chances are that that's not even making it into the first piece of the AI before any of the rest of the computation is done. So it's far more important in this world of Cosmo to think about, as we'll discuss, like intent-based matching, describing the audience and the product listings. The Cosmo can understand images as well as text now, so it's the SEO is visual as well as written. So lifestyle images of your audience, how they use the product, the season they use the product, all this stuff is going to inform the AI to better surface that to people, both through Rufus and through traditional search. It's in both. So yeah, that Cosmo is that back end to the Rufus front end.
Right. So how can third-party sellers tap into that, optimize for this new way of shopping?
Well, I can show you how they can do it on Ecomtent, but the broad structure is threefold. Firstly, it's intent-based matching. So as I mentioned, you have to understand the why the customer is buying the product, and you have to display that in the pictures and in the text of the product listing. And if you don't have who that customer is and why they're buying the product, and instead you're doing this kind of old school, I call it like 2010s version of, what's my long tail keyword, blah, blah, blah. Like the AIs are smarter than that. They're getting smarter than any human, and they are going to see right through that it's not a good product, for that intent. So number one is intent-based matching. Number two is visual SEO as well as written SEO. Everything we're talking about now is multimodal. And then number three is just monitoring and optimization. So these AIs drift. Seasonality is going to be even more important. If someone's searching, let's say on July 4th, you're going to want American flags and all that kind of stuff in your images, so that because the AI is going to know the context, right, that the person's searching in. And if it's Halloween, likewise, you want some pumpkins, you want whatever, Christmas, you want snow. So there's this like continuous optimization piece, which I think the top sellers, if before you wanted to update keywords every quarter, now it's going to be more frequent than that, refreshing the images and the text to always be relevant for the customer.
Right. And you're saying that this is today, or this is in 3 years, or
This is today. So Amazon released a paper, which a lot of this stuff is based on, a lot of what we trained, like the first Cosmo paper. They've released a few now. The first one was released in February. And in that paper, they said this has been tested on 10% of Amazon traffic. They saw a 0.7% increase in conversion versus the old A9. And that this 0.7% conversion for $1 trillion company is worth billions of dollars.
yeah.
And they're gonna adjust to this. So that was in February. We have seen so many examples at Ecomtent of this shift happening. I get like the number one reason often that customers come to me is they go, oh, like, suddenly I'm not being ranked in the algorithm anymore. Like my price hasn't changed, my stock hasn't changed. Like I don't understand it. And I look at it and I go, oh, well, you haven't got a lifestyle image on with someone using the product. You haven't like explained who this is for and why it's done. It's just very basic kind of like infographics with no media that like the AI would understand. And it's a change in algorithm which is happening. So I don't know if you or like any of your sellers in your group have experienced this, but we're definitely like my view is we're probably at like a 70% rollout. Roof is at 100% rollout. It's everywhere in the US now. And I think Cosmo pretty much by for the close of the year will be the algorithm on Amazon.
Right. It's amazing. I mean, I personally, I don't think I've used it yet. I mean, maybe I played with it. When you actually shop, do you use it?
Well, I'm sitting here in the UK and it's not available for us in the UK. But I think I understand people going, oh, like it's not good in this. Like, I think what we have to remember is that this is V1.
Right.
This is a direction that things are going in. I think we're going to start to see smarter Alexas. They've just released. We're recording this in September. They've just released this kind of Claude, the AI model Claude into Alexa. So your Alexa is going to be smarter. Your Roof is going to be smarter. This is all going to be integrated. We're going to be speaking in natural language to Amazon and ordering products soon. So I agree. Rufus adoption may be slower on the front end. On the back end, Cosmo is being rolled out because it just increases conversion for Amazon. Like what they obviously want to sell more products, right? So they're gonna be rolling that out. So I think both are important, and like honestly, it's like sellers going, oh, I don't need to optimize for mobile. It's talking in 2019, right, or 2017. Like if you didn't do it, you probably lost out, and someone new probably came in, because now 80% of people shop on mobile. So I think we are at one of those inflection points, and I think it'll be faster than the last one did.
Right, amazing. It's fascinating. So let's jump into you said that Ecomtent they started creating A+ content
Yeah,
for listings. I find that amazing, and I would love to see a demo. So you want to show us a demo?
let's have a look. So
Can you share the screen? No.
you can see the screen.
Yeah,
You can see Ecomtent, right? Some
yeah.
listings. Yeah. Okay, perfect. So I guess the first piece of Ecomtent is we connect to your Amazon store. We do seller and vendor and eBay. We get all the brand analytics, all the data from the APIs in order to like optimize content. And then what you're going to see here is your SKUs. You can kind of search. You can sort it by IDQ. So item data quality, maybe you're familiar with, is basically Amazon's score on how many like bullet points and images and stuff you have on your listings, like A+ content or not. And then Cosmo is what we just discussed. So you can sort by either of those to kind of tackle the listings maybe that have the lowest scores. Good place to start in the different marketplaces and everything else. So then you come into a listing like this one, and basically in a few clicks you can generate lifestyle images, infographics, copy, everything. So I'll do the A+ content first. That's what people are interested in. So one click, and it's going to generate some A+ content. Now, the way that our tool works is that you can kind of set your brand guidelines. So the customer can come in and like set how they want the template to look like, and then we're going to populate the right call outs for dimensions, call outs for these lifestyle stock images, call outs, like all of this stuff which is relevant for the product in the templates that you define. So we have a bunch of funds, but here we see, so we've just generated this A+ content for this dog bowl. Got some
Wow.
beautiful dogs, got some ICP customers, got some beautiful stuff like this. And yeah, like I mentioned, it's you kind of go into this editor, you can choose like the different defaults of how you want to do it, and then when if you're to do it now, it's going to be a different style, and all of this stuff is editable, and you can kind of go and kind of change, edit it, as well as after it's generated, plus like the different formats. So yeah, any questions on that?
Yeah, I mean, I find it fascinating. My question was that, like the same thing with when it was just creating bullet points, it's never going to be 100%. And I know a lot of people use AI, they for a starting point and then they edit it. My question is like,
Oh, it's pretty good though.
Am I right?
Well, it's never going to be 100%, but it's pretty good. And yeah, like I agree. You can always, like, it takes a second to regenerate it if you don't like a particular image or anything else, and you want to change the text. But yeah, like hopefully the speed and scale which you can generate stuff for. And yeah, we also do the optimizing the text as well. All optimized to Cosmo, like it's our big focus, like showing the like the end user, like dog owners, and because Amazon is going to know like who a dog owner is, right? They're going to have that out, if you're buying that stuff. So yeah, you can do all that stuff with the text as well. And then if you're happy with it, you would just publish it in one click, and it's all pretty simple and integrated.
So this all takes into account the RUFUS algorithm, which is what we started with. Is that correct? That's
Exactly. So this is just improved. Like we've improved the
wow.
IDQ score and the Cosmo score, and yeah, like it's kind of all taking that stuff into account, as you say. Yeah.
Well, it's amazing, and it looks great. And so you would say that it takes care, Ecomtent takes care around 95%, 100%. Like, would you ever just get to a point where you create A+ content and just publish it, or?
Well, we've got like some customers have, this is like customer one click published on Amazon, right? Like that they didn't do any editing to this stuff. So we do, like we do want to get to that point of speed and scale, just help people just like generate good A+ content. And the idea is that they would set up kind of the template, how they want to generate it once, and we have some. But once you've done that, you can just run all your products through, and you can refresh it, right? You can refresh it for Christmas, you can refresh it for Halloween, you can do these different elements. So it's just going to increase your conversion and discoverability on these new algorithms.
It's amazing. This is incredible, and like we said, we hope to see you at the next AFTTG. Are you going to accelerate?
I'll be at Accelerate. Yeah. I'll be at Accelerate. I picked this dog one, by the way, because the last time I was on your show about a year ago, I had a dog one. So maybe people can go and they can look back at how much better the dogs have got, and then they can say, well, like maybe if you're watching this in a few months, you can say, well, it's probably improved like up again. So it's not going to be perfect, but we're working hard to get it to be that high quality.
Yeah, I love what you're doing. It's amazing, and enjoy the show. I'm gonna be watching it virtually, and maybe I'll come next year. We'll see. But enjoy the show, and I enjoy this immensely. And we're gonna put the links and everything into the discount you want to give to us. And
Yeah.
anybody who wants to use it, is there a discount? Doesn't have
Yeah,
to be.
there's a discount. There's a discount. I can't remember off the top of my head, but you will have it in the link. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll put it below, and I think you're very well respected, certainly in our community, and I think in the general community. And thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Ed.
All right, all right.